NBC's Ron Allen is live outside Cleveland City Hall, and Ted Williams is a lawyer and a former homicide detective here in Washington. First to you, Ron, tell me the facts of this murder.
The facts of the murder are that it happened Easter Sunday afternoon. The suspect, Steve Stevens, apparently got out of his car and taunted this man, Mr. Godwin, and then apparently shot him point blank. The video was then uploaded to Facebook, and then after that, a live confession happened on Facebook. And Facebook went through some detail just a little while ago about how long it took them to take this account down because they faced some criticism about that. Essentially, it took about an hour and 45 minutes, but they say it took 23 minutes from the time that they were first notified that, in fact, the murder had happened. And they say that they are working on their reporting processes and basically relying on thousands of people around the world who are looking at millions of uploads and pieces of postings every week. So it's a very difficult job. But to the issue here, what's striking is that in that press conference, the police seem to indicate that they really don't have a clue where this individual is, and it's been over 24 hours now. There was some reporting earlier today. The Philadelphia police confirmed that they had gotten some reports on 911 of sightings. That turned out to be a false lead. There was some reporting very early in the day suggesting that he might have been in Erie, Pennsylvania, where his cell phone might have pinged, but that also apparently has turned out to not be the case. So there have been a couple of little things along the way, but nothing substantive. That's why they are really making a very forceful plea to friends, neighbors, relatives to turn this individual in. He can't just disappear off the face of the earth. There's also no indication that he tried to rent another car or buy an airplane ticket. They're obviously looking at his credit card and electronic transactions. But again, it's just an extensive manhunt. They describe it as a nationwide manhunt, even though it may be focused on a couple of states near here. They say he could be anywhere in this country. That's why he's on the FBI's 10 most wanted list. That's why the reward is now $50,000. That's why people here are still very afraid of what might happen. He has not been linked to any other murders. He said, Stevens did on Facebook, that he had killed as many as 15 people, but that apparently is not true. The police have searched Cleveland and everywhere else they could think of, and they have not found any victims, any bodies that were related to this individual. So it's the one man, Mr. Godwin, 74-year-old grandfather. We hope to hear from his family today. They're obviously trying to work out funeral arrangements and grieving deeply and trying to understand how this could happen, because there seems to be no relationship between the victim and the shooter. It just seems to be a random thing. And the shooter, Mr. Stevens, explained that it has something to do with his girlfriend, Joy Lane. One of our producers in the neighborhood outside of Cleveland was able to determine by talking to some neighbors that, in fact, they seem to be a couple living together for the past several months, described as quiet. And you heard the police say that she's in a safe place now. And the police also say that friends and neighbors are cooperating. But that's where we are, just a dead end at this point, it would seem.
Ted, as a former homicide detective, you investigate these cases, and I should add, if anyone's listening on satellite radio, keep your eyes open for a white Ford Fusion, temporary Ohio tag E636360, because this is the kind of case where tips are everything. Don't approach this man; he's armed and dangerous. But that's what's so important tonight.
Oh, absolutely, Greta. This is such a horrific, senseless, cold-blooded killing, and what law enforcement now is trying to put together a puzzle. What they're trying to determine is who his friends are, his relatives, and they're trying to make a determination as to whether any of those people are sheltering him or whether he's actually been in contact with them.
And if he's on the run, he needs money. He's got to eat. He's got to get money. So they're going to, anyone who's gives him money is now part of this crime. Anybody who aids him and helps him, knowing they did this, is part of this crime.
Oh, absolutely. And it's like a needle in a haystack. We know that he was in a white Toyota Camry at the time that he committed this crime.
I thought it was a Ford Fusion.
I'm sorry, stand to be corrected, Ford Fusion. And they're looking for that automobile right now, but he
could have ditched it.
He very well could have. The big question they are asking, trying to find out also, and I heard Ron mention it, but they're trying to determine if he's actually a serial killer. That's very significant in this investigation.
Ron, in the press conference, the police said they had contact with him after the murder. What was the contact, and how did they happen to have contact with him?
Apparently, they contacted him by phone, as they described it, early in the investigation. So I would assume that means sometime Sunday afternoon, evening, since the murder happened around 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. They didn't give a lot of detail about it, and they say that his last known location to them is the murder scene, nowhere else. They don't know where he could have gone. And the other thing about this that's really fascinating is that this is an individual who seems to have a lot of ties in this community. He had what appears to be a relatively stable job. That work site closed down today because they were concerned about, well, whether this has something to do with employees at their facility. So it's not like he's some guy who doesn't have a history here. He's known, he has family, he has friends apparently, he has fraternity brothers who have come out and talked to him. He's a college graduate, we understand. So that's what's really amazing and baffling about this, is that an individual with so many ties could just disappear.
And the fact that, I mean, and this murder, Ted, broad daylight in Cleveland, 74-year-old grandfather walking down the street, and this evil man just came up and shot
on
and killed
Easter
him.
Sunday, a 74-year-old grandfather walking on the street, minding his own business, and to be shot by this man. And while he's filming it, he's actually talking to his girlfriend, because on the final end, he says something in a profanity, that MF is dead because of you, meaning the girlfriend, and this is something that he put out there.
And a reminder to the viewers or listeners, if you're listening on radio, this man is armed and dangerous. It's a nationwide manhunt. He is suspected in a murder, and suspected, I use loosely because he put it on Facebook that he did this. But Ron, Ted, thank you. And as Ron mentioned just moments ago, Facebook released a timeline showing that the suspect's account was still active for nearly 2 hours after the shooting video was posted. Facebook has issued a statement saying, quote, "We are reviewing our reporting flows to be sure people can report videos and other material that violates our standards as easily and quickly as possible. We know we need to do better." And let's not forget the victim of this heinous crime, Robert Godwin Sr., 74 years old, retired foundry worker. Friends and family describe him as a good, generous, and selfless man. His son spoke to reporters earlier today about his father.
I mean, he's a good guy. I mean, very good target. Keep the shirt off his back. I mean, and I'm not just saying that for these cameras.
Mr. Godwin was quiet, always respectful. He enjoyed spending his retirement with his family and frequently went out fishing. He leaves behind 9 children and 14 grandchildren.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.